what got you attracted to the person you are in a relationship with, the person you are friends with, and the person you are married to? So I have a friend who is a male co. She got so attracted to a sangfleg, and today they are married. Happily married, you can say that. Working on their marriage, sure they are, with the knowledge they are getting today. Hello everyone, and welcome once again to another episode of Temperament and Lifestyle. But today we are actually reviewing temperament and marriage, so it's actually a review. I know I got you there, right? Okay, I'm your walkthrough reading coach and your host for the review podcast, Mrs. Peace Tamuno. Have you been able to catch up on our previous episodes? Remember, we're reading the book Why You Act the Way You Do by Tim LaHaye, and here we are reading chapter 13 of the book Why You Act the Way You Do. And today we are going to be reviewing temperament and marriage. So back to my question once again: what got you attracted to the person you are in a relationship with, to the person you are married to, and to the person whom you're friends with? Please put it down in the comment section. My second question: can you still say you are attracted to those things that got you attracted to the person in the first place? Alright, so back to our topic for today. We're talking about temperament and marriage, and chapter 13 actually asks the question, do opposites really attract? Now, the whole theory of temperament opens our eyes into how marriages and relationships are supposed to work based on a better understanding of each other. Therefore, with the knowledge of temperament theory, we realize that sometimes people do things to us which initially angers us, but based on this understanding, we now realize that most actions done by people, especially those we care about, are not aimed at angering us or infuriating us, but they are done, those actions are done because of the person's temperament. Notwithstanding, remember, we are not here to take normalized nonsense. So notwithstanding, each and every temperament needs to be worked on by God, and that is the reason for this podcast, to let you know or bring you to awareness of your strengths and weaknesses, knowing your tendencies. You know the aspects you need to work on, asking the help of the Holy Spirit. Alright, so if you're ready, please come with me and let's keep moving in. Once again, I ask, have you really wondered what attracted you to that person you are married to? Have you wondered what attracted you to that friend or that person you are in a relationship with? Do you know that most times we are attracted to the strengths of people around us because those strengths complement our weaknesses? So when you see something, for example, we see someone who is prim and proper, who is organized, immediately as a sanguine who is disorganized, you quickly get attracted to such a person. So we can gladly or proudly say that opposites attract. Remember physics. One of the laws in physics talks about the attraction of opposite poles. I think the topic on magnetism, where we talk about the South Pole and the North Pole, and those attract. So we cannot find the North Pole attracting the North Pole. Instead, it attracts the opposite. So opposites do attract. Opposites do attract. Alright, can we go on? Now, based on this fact that opposites do attract, we have to ponder a little. Now, imagine a sanguine getting attracted to another sanguine. Remember, sanguines are serious attention finders. They love attention. They love to have an audience. Now imagine two sanguines getting attracted to each other. Who will play the audience for the other? Or imagine a choleric who is authoritative and likes to give commands. Imagine a choleric being attracted to another choleric, and then the two of them are married. What's going to happen? Sorry. Alright, it's odd. I don't want to make the same mistake I made the other time. Alright, so imagine two cholerics being attracted to each other. I'm sure that house is gonna be burned down because this one will dish out others, this one will dish out others. So what then can we do, or what then does temperament help us understand about this thing called attraction that leads to marriages and relationships? Now, we realize that the sanguines need an audience. They are always they are attention seekers, so they need an audience in order to bloom and to glow. The cholerics love to give command. They are authoritative. The melancholies are analytic. Okay, they analyze a lot. Now imagine two melancholies in the house, or more, a lot of analysis will go on. And that is why in particular we said that no person is completely one temperament, and that's why we talked about the different blends of temperament. If you missed out on that, please go to our YouTube channel and just check. You'll see, I think it's in chapter 3, the review on chapter 3 or thereabouts, when we talked about the blends. Chapter 2 or 3, we talked about the blends of temperament. Now we said the melancholy is an analytical person, and then the phlegmatics, those people are procrastinators. Imagine if you have a phlegmatic, two phlegmatics together, they will procrastinate to the point where a lot of things will not be done. So according to the book, there's a story Pastor Tim wrote down of a man who dated a woman for, I think, is it 4 years? Yes, 4 years. And then for these 4 years, he was dating her. They were both in love. He was nice, he was kind and everything. But at some point, she started having some dissatisfaction. Why? This relationship was not being defined. There was no forward movement. And she told him, can I have a conversation with you? He said, okay. And she asked, do you really love me? He said, of course, you know I love you. Where is this relationship going? What do you mean? Do you see us getting married anytime soon? And he's like, yes, I see us getting married. When? He said, I've not really placed my hands on it. I'm still thinking, for 4 years. 4 good years. It's really well. So that's how the phlegmatics are. They can procrastinate. So now, just based on this short analysis, imagine these 4 temperaments being attracted to themselves. How is the home going to be? How are they going to raise their children? How would decisions be made in that house? Based on this, we've been able to bring out a little explanation on some things that get temperaments attracted to themselves. So let's look at how opposite temperaments attract each other. We'll be starting with the sanguine. Now we know the sanguines are disorganized and undisciplined, amongst other things. Remember, we've talked about their strengths too, so don't feel bad when we talk about this. Basically, it's just aimed at knowing who you are so you can do better. So the sanguines are undisciplined and disorganized. Now they actually get attracted to the detailed and proper perfection of the melancholy. We know melancholies are perfectionists. You can have a melancholy who just has white and black in their wardrobe, and they can keep their white so clean without any stain on it. So the sanguines, being disorganized and undisciplined, get attracted to the melancholies, while the melancholies in their case get attracted to the fun-loving nature of the sanguine, because anytime they're in the presence of the sanguine, they tend to forget their worries. Remember, the melancholies are warriors. They tend to forget their worries and just flow. So sanguines get attracted to the melancholies and vice versa. Now the cholerics get attracted to the phlegmatics. Remember, the cholerics are bossy. They'd like to plan people's life for them and plan their own lives. So now they meet the phlegmatic, who is calm, laid back, and not can easily be a pushover, or looks like a pushover. Now the cholerics feel like, okay, I can plan this person's life, and this person will just take care of the home while I go ahead and do all the work. This person is submissive. This person can submit. What they don't know is that God blessed the phlegmatic with a very big dose of something called stubbornness. That stubbornness is what actually complements the bossy nature of the choleric. So you have a phlegmatic where the choleric saying, do this, no, you do this, do this, do that, and the phlegmatic is just like, and when they finish nodding their head, that place that they sat down, that thing that is in their mind, that is what they will end up doing. So we have the cholerics being attracted to the phlegmatics. Can we now see how opposites actually attract? Now, are we saying that you should go ahead or go roundabout looking for an opposite to attract or a different group to attract? No, that's not what we are saying. What we're actually saying is that most times extroverted temperaments are attracted to introverted temperament. But mind you, as every other rule, as every other theory, there are always exceptions to the case. We've seen cases where extroverted blends get married and they are able to function well. It all depends on intentionality. Remember, marriage is work. There's no relationship that is not work. Parenting, friendship, everything requires work. As long as you are really willing and ready to put in the work, then you will get the reward. So we've had extroverted blends that got married and they're okay, introverted blends that got married and they're okay. Also, there's the most important factor of God. If we allow our temperaments to be worked on by the Holy Spirit, we begin to work with a spirit-controlled temperament. There's no how we won't be able to function maximally and with the potential of things that God has put inside of us. Let's also remember that God is the author of marriage. God never meant for any marriage to be miserable. He never meant for you to suffer in marriage. So entering into marriage and beginning to complain about marriage is not the intention of God. When God created the world, He created everything and He said everything He had created was good. He went ahead to say, it is not good for man to be alone. I will make him an helpmate. Hence, God instituted marriage. He actually brought wife for the first man. It's just that at the end of the day, when something happened, man blamed God, and that's why God said, okay, go and find. He who finds now. It's no longer me that will find for you. I can give you pointers, I can give you an approval, but go and find for yourself. So we'll be looking at how to rekindle love in your marriage. How to rekindle love in your marriage. I know somebody is glancing through this and saying, what does this lady know? After all, you look like you're a young lady and you're just newly married. Well, I hope you know that it's not the amount of years you have been married that automatically makes you an authority on marriage. As long as you are not developing yourself personally, as long as you are not ready to work with relevant knowledge and information and the implementation of that knowledge, no matter how long you've been married, you cannot actually give an advice that will stand strong. I've heard people who have been married for over 30 years tell you, no grief for any man, no grief for the man. I think come like this, you come like that. Is that really what makes marriage work? So marriage and counseling about marriage is not basically in quotes based on the number of years. Yeah, are we saying that years don't matter? No, years matter because you get to see some experiences. But the truth is, how were you able to handle those experiences? So don't just give us your experience, but how were you able to handle it? Were you able to handle it with sense? Were you able to handle it rationally? Were you able to respond to those experiences and not react to them? So basically, those are the things. So whenever you want to take counseling from people, please be very careful who you take counseling from, especially when it comes to marriage, so you don't ruin your marriage. So very quickly, as we come towards wrapping up, how do we rekindle love in marriage? Number one, slam the door on divorce. Remember, this is a Christian space, and I will always brag about my God. God hates divorce. All right, God, He said, I hate putting away. So as long as you're getting into marriage, just automatically from the onset, before you even say yes, we go nowhere. You see this place, we don't die here. I don't like using that word, we die here, because there's power in our tongue. So I say we live here, we stay here, we remain in this boat together, we do all the work together, we fix our messes together. So remember, when my husband asked me out, before then, God had already shown me some things or some signs, because I have been praying and saying, God, I don't want to make a mistake in marriage. And I've had several proposals, but God said no. I said, okay, I'm going to trust you completely, and I don't know how to do this. I'm not really a relationship person, so teach me and show me. And so God showed me pointers, and He showed me everything about my husband to a certain level, apart from the face. So when I met this guy, he checked in all the boxes, but I still went back to God in prayer for confirmation. And after I got the confirmation, and I asked him, in fact, the first date we went on, I did not eat at first. I went on that date fasting, because I didn't want to make a mistake. When it comes to marriage, marriage is for a lifetime. You don't take decisions about marriage casually. You don't. You take time to actually search through and get a course of study. So how come you don't search through properly before getting married? Love is not enough. There are a lot of things that must be put in place before getting married. I told my husband something. I said, as we are going to go into this union together, let us agree that we will not sleep over with any disagreement. Even if we are not able to completely settle it. We will start the process of settling it. Disagreements does not follow us into our bedroom. So at that point, I'm telling you, say, are you ready to marry me? Because as you enter, there's no going back. I don't want to come back and hear, please, sorry, I made a mistake. There's no mistake. Oh God, you have entered, you have entered. Except for the cases where life is being threatened, that's where we say, okay, at least divorce should be in place. But please, all those people who get into marriage with the mindset that if the man fuck up, I go come out. If the man fuck up, if the man mess up, I will leave. Please slam the door on divorce. As long as you have an alternative, you will not work on your marriage. My papa, David Ibiome, always says, anytime you have alternatives in place, it reduces the extent to which you are willing to work at a thing. As long as you have alternatives, you won't be willing to work on some things, because you know that any small thing, I will work out the divorce door. So to rekindle your marriage, the first thing you have to do is slam the door on divorce. Next thing, you have to admit to yourself that you are not perfect. So you see this thing about men are scum, this one, that one. Please, I have one question. Is it that we don't have women that actually do things that are wrong? We have people that do things that are wrong too. So please realize the fact that you are not perfect. So please, while pointing fingers at others, remember you too have your faults. Number 3, let's also know that our partner is not that perfect. He too or she has their weaknesses that needs to be worked on. They have weaknesses that they need to work on. Okay, so as I was saying, our partners too are not perfect. Just the same way, remember we said we are not perfect. Our partners too have their weaknesses. So we have to make room for that, all right? I'm not saying that we should not keep making room and then allowing the partner to do rubbish. No, but let's not be expecting perfection from an imperfect being. Remember, the Bible says, be perfect as I am perfect. So no one is perfect, only God himself. So it is very important. And this takes us to the next one, which is praying for the strengthening of our partners. So because we know they are not perfect, you can take it to God in prayer. Pray concerning whatever you feel is the issue that you have with your partner. Lord, I bring my partner to you in prayers. Do this, do that. There's no temperament that God cannot reform. There's none at all. All temperaments are reformable by God, including yours. So while you're praying for yourself, also put your partner in prayer. And the next one, let's normalize apologizing really and truly. Sincere apology. When you make a mistake, when you are wrong, everybody can go wrong. Let's normalize apologizing. Don't just take it as I beg, okay, sorry. At least if I say sorry, you go end the matter. No, let the apology come from your heart. Like, be sure you know you did something wrong and apologize for it. Remember, he who says sorry isn't the small one. And then the next one also, let's also verbalize our love. Let's learn to verbalize our love. Saying I love you in words is also very important, not just in that. They know I love them now. I remember when I was much older, I called my dad and we were talking. I said, Dad, I can't ever remember you telling us you love us. He said, but you know I love you. I said, no, we need to also hear it, you know, every time. And because of that, I actually didn't grow up to be a mushy and romantic person. I'm not really a romantic. I'm working on that right now. In fact, if you tell my mom I love you, she will look at you like, what's the matter? What have you done? And I don't blame her, because that's how she too was brought up, and so she's doing the same thing. But I want to change the narrative. So I tell my son I love you. I tell my husband I love you. Even though sometimes when I'm saying it, I feel somehow like it's like sour in my mouth, but it still doesn't stop me from saying it. I keep saying it until I get better at it. Let's verbalize our love. There's nobody that doesn't like love. Even your grandmother that is 70 or 80 years old, by the time you say I love you, you see them blush. Everybody, there's no how. Love wins over a lot of people. Yes, some people may resist at first, but there's nobody that rejects love. So based on this, we come to a close and we draw chapter 13 to a close. Thank you very much for staying with me. I hope you enjoyed the review session. I hope you had fun. Sorry for a little bit break, because my son, as usual, you all know I'm the mom of a toddler, and you know how toddlers can be. Thank you very much once again for staying with me. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow. Invite other people to join us on this journey while we recultivate once again the reading culture in our society. We're actually reading to develop ourselves. Trust me, you don't want to keep missing, or you don't want to miss these reviews. I remain your host, Mrs. Peace Tamuno. Thank you, and God bless you.